Hello and welcome back to Civil Field Trainers. My name is Shadab. So today we'll be discussing two projects. This is the very first project and this is our second project, and both of these projects are from our student. All right. So his question is pretty simple. He wants to know about the deflection in story response plots. Okay, right now he's getting some 79 regards or something like that. He's not able to see the exact values. So if I can just show you the image, he's seeing everything in force. Okay, he's not seeing in mm. So his very first question is pretty simple and very easy to answer. I'll directly take it to the display and story response plots. Okay, and if you come over here and let me just close this for a second. So you see here, I'm getting displacements exactly. Okay, even if I change it to wind, the one that he's asking about, where is the wind load? Yeah. Okay, I'm able to see the displacements over here, and you can see the value also here. So the thing that he has done is, if I were to open it up again, he has kept the wind load pattern properly, but the display type is different. Display type is in auto lateral loads to stories. So that's why, because he's applying, he's checking for auto lateral loads, he's getting everything in forces. Okay, so very first question is pretty simple and very straightforward to answer. Just change it to max story displacements. That's how you see the displacement values. Okay, so whatever h by 250 or h by 500, whatever you have to cross verify these values again, you can cross verify it. All right, so that was the very first question. Okay, so whenever you're talking about a project, right, if I just take you to 3D, it is simple ground plus 2 project, nothing much to it. Okay, even if I get you the extruded view of the project, you can see much better, you can get a much better understanding of this. Okay, so it's a simple residential project. So there is no need for me to apply, if I come for load patterns, the wind load and the earthquake load. Okay, so if you go back and couple of weeks, couple of months, you will know that we were getting a new code book. Okay, the code book was what? The code book was 1893. Okay, 2026 version. Okay, in this code book we had zone 6 and we had a lot of variations that were going on in the mix, but currently we don't have that code book in the circulation. Okay, they have taken it back for now. It is back to the drawing board. Okay, so why am I picking that topic up is because if, for example, your project was in zone 6, for example, and on a hill or something like that, okay, which is prone to earthquakes. Obviously if it's zone 6, it's prone to earthquakes. So if you have a project that looks something like this, in those conditions, it makes sense for you to consider even the earthquake. Okay, even for a G+2 project, it makes sense. All right, but I think this is a normal residential place on a very flat terrain. Okay, so I don't think you have to apply G+2, earthquake for a G+2 project. That being said, the same goes for your wind loads also. So if I go for define and load patterns again, where is the load pattern? Okay, so you can see 1893 2016 version and ISO 2015 version. The way the wind loads work, okay, you have to understand the way they work first. Okay, so let me just use this white space over here. All right, say for example you have a simple 30-40 plot. Okay, so we have a simple 30-40 plot. Okay, this is the plan view. All right, so this what basically happens is I can construct something on this project. Okay, for about 2 or 3 stories I can construct something, for example. All right, so what happens, this is the surface area where the wind load is going to come and hit the project. Okay, same thing over here, this is surface area when the wind load is going to come and hit the project, basically x and y direction, whatever you want to consider. All right, so the surface area is not that much. Okay, so let me just use this eraser. Okay, and let me just read the plan in this view. A simple 40 feet and a simple 30 feet. Okay, so this is basically going to be my 30 feet, and if you're building a 15-meter tall building or something, you'll have at least 45 to 50 feet in the height department also. Okay, so this is the only area that is available for you for your wind to come and hit your project. And moreover, this building will not be the only building in the vicinity. We will have multiple other projects, okay, side by side. All right, so in this scenario what happens, your wind load is not going to play a very crucial role for you to consider it in your design aspect. Okay, so when a project is very small, please don't consider the wind load. The way it works is pretty different. Say I have a very huge project. Okay, I have a very huge apartment complex that I'm constructing, and this is basically some 200 feet, and this is basically some 100 feet. And now what happens? Now, if I were to just see a isometric view of this particular project, this project will have a very massive amount of front surface. Okay, in the both sides, it will have a very huge amount of surface. Now you see the amount of surface that you have. Okay, so if I build a very large project, okay, and the other project G+2, G+3, G+4, whatever you have, these are smaller projects. They'll occupy the smaller spaces. Okay, so when the wind comes and hits your project, okay, what ends up happening is you will see deflection. You will definitely see it. All right, you will see deflection because of the wind. All right, so this is the concept behind it. For simple G+2 and G+3 or projects like this, the nearby buildings and all, there'll be obstructions for them. When it comes to larger projects, you won't have those obstructions. Okay, unless and until you're in a city like Mumbai where we have multiple towers. Even those towers are not placed very close by like this. No, if there is one tower over here, okay, after some distance only there will be another tower. Okay, so even there, the distance between the towers is quite good. Unless you're in a society where you have multiple tower stacks next to each other. Okay, so please keep this in mind. All right, so for G+2 structures and all, please don't consider the wind loads and the earthquake loads, because if I see his project, let me just go back here and bring it back over here, and I'll take you to the plan view. Okay, you can see there is no need for us to have such big columns showing up for a G+2 project. Okay, so we go for design section properties and we go for frame sections. All right, so you can see here we have 750 column. There is no need for us to have 750 column for a residential project. That is too much, that is too big. Okay, because his loads are good, his loads are all properly, those are there, you can see here. Okay, his loads are perfectly fine. Nothing much to worry about on the load front. Let me just see what he has done for the this part. Okay, he has not applied wall loads. Here he has applied wall loads. Okay, so please keep this in mind. Okay, so coming here to the next step. After this step, what you're supposed to do is you have run your analysis. Okay, supposed to go for the design part. So go for design, concrete trim design, and view by revised preferences. Okay, so if you see here, I always tell this step, even though it is a given that many people will not make a mistake. Here you can see he has used IS codebook, ACI codebook he has taken. So please change it back to your IS 456 codebook. No matter how much a step may be redundant, please apply it. Okay, it's like a checklist you're supposed to go. Now, why do I say this? Because his second project that he had shared previously, even in that project, if you go for concrete trim design and view by revised preferences, ACI code has been taken. Okay, now it doesn't make sense that we have load patterns with respect to IS 456 code books and we are doing design with respect to our American code books. Okay, so please change this and please keep an eye on this. All right, it's very easy to slip and make a mistake. So both the projects, this thing was there, so I'm pointing it out. And lastly, if I take you back to this second project, if you go for your load combinations, there are a lot of combinations that are auto generated. Okay, I am not up for auto-generated combinations, as I have told in the class as well, in the training of our course as well. If you see here, we have 0 0.8, 0 0.9, 1.2 loads. Okay, we have all these combinations which are not exactly, as per our code books. Okay, so for this, nearly 7 or 8 months back, if you come to our channel, you can see I had made a video, okay, a short 10-minute clip. And if you see here, I have exactly shown you step by step how to, you know, uh, copy all these loads from one project and take it to another project. All right. So if you just come and see here, I think where is that? Yeah, all these combinations, everything are coming up. Okay, so it's very simple and very straightforward. 10-minute step at it not even take 10 minutes, because I was explaining it was taking 10 minutes. Hardly it'll take you 2 or 3 minutes. All right, please do not depend upon the auto-generated load combinations. Those are not as per the code book 100%. Okay, some of them are there, some of them are not there. I don't remember having 1.3 load combination. All right, if you remember 1.2 we have, 1.5 we have, 0.8 we have, 0.9 we have. All right, so just keep this in mind, delete all this. Okay, please come and visit this video. All right, I've shown you all the steps and everything, how to copy a combination from our base file. Base file also is provided in the training. Okay, if you come to this training, everything has been provided over here. All right, okay, so you can come and check the entire training out. It is both in English and Hindi, separate folders you will find. All right, for RCDC also, Etabs also, safe also, and the recent updates also we have made. You'll find a bonus course also. Okay, all of this you will find. All right, currently 1,000 rupees off coupon code is there, but soon it will change. Okay, why it will change? Because I am planning to club the courses together. Etabs safe RCDC and the AutoCAD course also will come over here. All right, so a new combination course will come, and when it comes, the price will definitely be higher than current price, right? All right, so that's all. See you guys in the next class. Thank you.